Hey everybody, it's Casey, and I just get excited every time I get to do my show. This part of the show is probably my favorite part of the show, as I get to interview somebody. And over the years now, I have had the opportunity to interview some really great classic artists, some new and upcoming artists, people in between, and I'm really honored to have this guy on my show today. It just kind of blows my mind a little bit that I'm actually talking to this guy, but I think you're going to like him. I think you're going to like him. I think you're going to like his music, and I think you're going to like his story because it's a really freaking cool story. So let's get right to it. Please make welcome to the Wall to Wall Country Show today, Mr. Levi Hummon. Hey, Levi, how are you?
How are you doing? What's going on? I am Levi Hummon.
Hey, how are you? I'm so excited to have you on the show. You've got such an interesting background, such an interesting story, just all kinds of really fun little tidbits that I'd like to get to. I always know everybody's always short on time, but can we just back up just a minute, just in case people are unaware of your background and how you got to where you're at? Can you give us a quick synopsis of Levi and where he came from and how he got to where he's at right now?
Yeah, so I am born and raised from Nashville, Tennessee. My dad is actually a singer-songwriter. He was on Sony back in like '98.
Wow.
And then, he had a record deal back in the day and started writing for other artists. And he ended up writing songs like Cowboy Take Me Away for the Dixie Chicks, Ready to Run, Bless the Broken Road for the Rascal Flatts, and a bunch of
That
others.
was my wedding song.
So yeah, he's obviously a terrible writer. Just kidding. But so I grew up in a house with music, and I grew up getting ready for school and hearing him on the piano, and getting home from school and walking in a room where the Rascal Flatts would be there. Or I remember one time Jessica Simpson was there when she was recording. And so I grew up hearing these lyrics and melodies be recorded and written. And so I always had that background, but I never really pursued music until my sophomore year of college. I was down in Florida and went through a serious breakup and, of course, grabbed my guitar out of the closet and basically just started writing like crazy. Ended up moving back to Nashville and back home and got a publishing deal from a guy named Desmond Child who wrote songs like Living on a Prayer, Dude Looks Like a Lady.
Wow.
Ended up signing a record deal and then just started touring my butt off.
Wow. So that's like a whirlwind right there.
Yeah. So basically the second I got home or back to Nashville, everything just kind of started snowballing. And I think it was all based around this idea that I had this upbringing of how to write a song, and that's really my passion is songwriting.
So let me ask you this, though. Is there pressure because you have such a dad and that whole, you grew up in Music City, so doesn't everybody know how to write and sing,
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of it. I mean, you come back to Nashville and you're automatically in the most competitive environment for the most talented singer-songwriters and artists all around the world are here. And there's a massive amount of pressure from my dad because he has a massive shadow.
Right.
But it was really important for me as an artist and songwriter to first establish myself and not really lean on my dad or use him to be a foot in the door unless I really needed it, which I did at first. But I really try to separate myself in a lot of ways. But also, we played the Opry a while back, and I brought him on stage to sing with me. We performed Bless the Broken Road together in a song of ours called Make It Love.
Aw, that sounds awesome. So, okay, you come back. What were you studying in college? I'm just curious.
I was doing painting, sculpting, and then doing a little bit marine biology and sociology.
Okay.
So a lot of random stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
So mainly painting, and I was mainly just a beach bum because I was in Florida. A bum.
All those nice dollars that your dad worked for going right out into the beach.
And then I ended up getting a record deal and dropping out of college. So.
Okay, now let me ask you this. Was he, when you came back or you said, hey, Dad, guess what? I think I had to change of heart here, and this is what I want to do. What was his reaction? Was he like, yeah, finally? Or was it like, no, dude, you want to go back to school? What was the reaction?
I immediately wanted to drop out of school, and he made me transfer to Belmont University in Nashville before I was able to drop out.
Okay.
I transferred as a songwriting major to Belmont University for about a month and a half, and really just spent that time in Nashville writing with as many writers as I could possibly write with. And then every Thursday I would have a co-write with my dad and one other big-time writer. So I kind of build everything up for those Thursdays. And then just started building up a catalog, and it was like really, like I said, that guy Desmond Child, he's a longtime family friend of ours, and just came over for dinner one night, and I played him some music. And the next day, he invited me to his office and offered me a publishing deal.
Wow,
it was kind of magical.
That's awesome. Now, you're talking some big-time writers. You've had probably the opportunity to rub elbows with some pretty impressive people. Tell me some of the outstanding ones, the ones that you think were like, they were pinch-me moments even for you.
Yeah. Well, immediately, Shane McAnally, who wrote songs like American Kids. He's like 20-something number ones.
Right.
And I have a lot of time and am more of a fan of the writer than I am sometimes the artist, because these writers are just so incredible from Nashville. The late, great Andrew Dorff, who passed away this past December, wrote songs like Save It for a Rainy Day, and Neon Light, and a few others, and I'm a huge fan of his, and I mean, we wrote a ton of songs together, so I just, every day, it's always a new writer, and it's always incredible.
So I read a little something that you had the opportunity to write with Steven Tyler.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, come on, Steven Tyler, really?
So he was in town, and I saw all these Instagram photos of like all my writer buddies hanging out with Steven Tyler, and I was like, what the? I'm so jealous. And randomly got a call that he was over at my publisher's office, and he had heard the beginning of the song called Red, White, and You that I had started, and he basically called me and asked me to come to the studio, and of course I missed the call and got this voicemail like later that day, and I just immediately like hightailed it to the studio, and got there, and Steven was like in the studio chilling, and basically got to talk to him for like 5 hours, and then we did the demo together in the studio, and he actually released it as a single, and then it was on the Skittles commercial for the Super Bowl, so that was like worth it all, was to see him sing it.
Yeah. I mean, that's crazy. That's just crazy. Even for you, that had to be one of those like, really, is this my life? Is this really what's happening?
I was telling my friend the other day, I was like, sometimes like this amazing stuff happens, and it's all such a blur when it's happening, and then you have to find like a quiet moment later that week or later that month even, just to kind of reflect on everything that happens. And it's a process I'm trying to do, and force myself to be grateful and not take everything for granted.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, and if you can keep that, and I think that's what happens sometimes is people get a little lost. It's such a fast pace, it's such high pressure and demand, and you're getting pulled in 30,000 directions. And I think sometimes people do get a little lost.
Yeah.
And I think that's good for you to like sit down and take a mental note and go, okay, no, wait a minute. I want to remember this moment, and this moment's important, and I don't want to just have it as a blur.
And one example of that is we were on tour with Kit Moore, and we were out in the West Coast and got to perform at the Fillmore in San Francisco.
Wow.
And it was like this historic venue, and we're playing 6 shows in 7 days, and this one was the Fillmore in San Francisco. And I was like, it was like the show ended, and I like hadn't taken a moment whatsoever. And this is a venue where like the Grateful Dead started, Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, all these people. And I remember I was walking out of the venue, and I hadn't taken a moment to like just appreciate the fact that I just played there. And I set down my guitar, and I turned around, and I just like stared at the Fillmore for a minute, and I was just like, I'm going to take this in. I'm going to remember this, and it was so important for me to do that.
And you've kind of had some of those outstanding moments in your life, including setting aside Steven Tyler, that one. You've had an interesting relationship with Dodge Ram trucks. And
yes.
I had a Dodge Ram for years and years and years and years. I'm a huge Dodge Ram fan. So it kind of hits home with me a little bit, but tell us about that Guts and Glory Dodge Ram. I mean, come on, really?
Yeah. So, it's actually considered just Ram trucks now because they separated from Dodge.
Oh, okay.
So I
have an
actually
old one.
learned that when I kept calling it Dodge Ram, and they're like, it's Ram. But it's forever Dodge Ram. I don't care what they say.
Yeah, there's just certain things. My truck still says Dodge on it, so.
So I actually wrote the song called Guts and Glory with the amazing Tom Douglas and Travis Hill, and it was just a song kind of about what America means to me, and kind of like my reflection on like the history of America. And I sent it into my label, and my label was like, "This is like perfect for Ram trucks," and so they sent it to Ram, and immediately heard back from them. And Ram asked me to do a promotional campaign from coast to coast where I basically drove a truck from Seattle all the way down through Texas, all the way up to New York, and then back across the country. We did some fly dates here and there, but we basically toured the entire country in a Ram truck, singing Guts and Glory to different communities. We went to VA hospitals. In
nice.
Austin, we delivered food to the homeless out of the back of the Ram truck, and then in Flint, Michigan, we delivered pallets of water to Flint, Michigan, and then also got to tour with Billy Currington during that as well. So we had a lot of stuff going on.
Wow. And see, even those moments, with the vets or delivering food to people who need it, those are the kinds of moments too. I mean, all of the glory and the hype and where you perform and stuff like that, of course, are important. But those kind of moments are important to other people too. And if you're making that happen for them, those are pinch me moments too, and those are important moments to remember.
No, absolutely, I agree.
Yeah, nice. Good work there. Nicely done. And I watched some of the video too. I was jealous. I was like, man, that's a brand new one. Mine's like a 1995. It's like
yeah, we got to actually test drive different ones in each market. So I got every single Ram truck. If you ever need any recommendations, I got you.
Oh, nice. I will. I'm going to write that down because mine's getting up there in age. So
perfect.
Thanks, Levi. I'm going to write that. Let me just take one. Okay, I got it. Okay, got it. Okay. So let's.
Are you recording?
Yeah, I am. This is going to come back to haunt you someday, Levi.
Oh no.
So let's move a little bit back more towards you and your music now, as far as what the new projects that you have going on. So tell me about this new single that you have out there. Completely written by you, co-written. Give me the story. Okay, good. Tell us about it.
Yeah. So we were looking at this past spring, and we were on tour with Michael Ray for about 8 weeks. We were on tour with Kip Moore for 2, and then Frankie Ballard and a few others.
Name dropping. Are you name dropping? You're name dropping.
Trying to give the reason behind this. So we were looking at all these dates, and I really wanted to go out there and give a song to fans. So when I basically leave the stage, they have something to listen to. And so we decided to release this song that kind of stood out in the fall. And it's a song called Don't Waste the Night. And it's a song basically just about not wanting a girl to fall asleep and to come over. And I actually wrote it because I was playing this cover of Tracy Chapman's Fast Car, and there's this really cool lick in it, and I really wanted to embody that in the song. And lyrically, it kind of was inspired by this Ed Sheeran song called Don't, and just kind of wrote with my buddies Josh Thompson and Matt Jackstrom and went for it, and ended up releasing it, and it's kind of taken off by itself. And I'm just kind of watching it kind of take off.
Yeah, it's taken off. So now let me make sure I understand. This is just a single. It's not on any EP or anything anywhere.
No, this is just a single. It is purely by itself, but it is, it's just for digital outlets, and it's kind of just doing its thing on the internet, and people are sharing it and streaming it and buying it. It's just awesome. Right.
Now, let me also double check now. You are you're on all the electronic medias across the board. People can find it on the Amazons, the Spotify, the whatever.
Everything.
Okay, good.
Yes.
So if that's what they're looking for, they can just Google you and Google your song, and they'll be able to find it and purchase it that way.
It's Levi Hummon and Don't Waste the Night.
Awesome. Well, I got to tell you, you've got some really great music, and I've had the opportunity to watch some of this stuff, and you got videos out for some of your tunes as well.
Yeah. We try to, go at all the different streaming mechanisms and also viewing stuff as well. So you guys can check it out all over the internet.
Yeah. YouTube everywhere. That's kind of where I found it. So, well, listen, can you hang on for a few more minutes, Levi? I need to take a quick break, but I want to come back with that new single that you have out there, Don't Waste the Night, in just a minute. Can you hang in there?
I can absolutely hang in there.
Awesome. We're going to have more with Levi Hummon, and you guys need to check this guy out and really, really get in touch with him. It's Levi Hummon at HUMMON.com. And Google this guy, search this guy, find him on all the social medias as well as all of the electronic forms of music. Don't Waste the Night is his new tune. You can see it also on YouTube. Is it on YouTube or Vivo?
Yes, and we have an acoustic video out right now as well, so it's out there.
Oh, that's right. You and that other guy who looks like your brother. Who is that?
It's my buddy John.
God, you guys look like brothers. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to be back with more Levi right here on Penn Speak Radio. Don't go anywhere. And there it is, Levi Hummon's don't waste the night. Don't waste time. Get out there and check out this tune. And yeah, I mean, I think one of the videos that I watched was you and that guy just playing the acoustic, but you've got a couple other versions of it out there.
Yeah, so we have a bunch now. But yeah, just check it out. I mean, that's like one of my favorite songs, and we've always played it out live. And before we released it, people were just like, "What is that song about? Not wasting the night? Like, we want to hear it so bad." So it was kind of on fan demand. That's why we released it.
Okay. Now you are putting this one out there on your shows. What's the response? Are you getting that they just think it's a great song, or are they actually listening to the words and kind of responding to the whole idea and the meaning behind the song?
Yeah. So a while back, we just released a song, and then I went out on vacation, and then an Amy Grant cruise out in Alaska, and then flew into this festival called Windy City Smokeout over in Chicago. And I had not really played it for anybody since the release, and it was kind of the first time testing it out. And we played at the festival, and people just started singing it back to me, and I kind of teared up a little bit because it's like the first time I had played it in front of an audience since I released it. Wow. And it was just absolutely awesome.
And that's got to be a cool one of those, again, another one of those moments where it's like when people are singing your song back to you, that's got to be amazing.
Yeah, it was definitely fulfilling.
Cool. Awesome.
That's the best way to describe it.
That's so wonderful. And the thing is that you did a song, it's affecting people, they're feeling it, and then they take that emotion and kind of hand it back to you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I was I actually almost forgot the words because I was kind of tearing up a little bit. And I looked at this one person, and I just handed her the mic, and she sang a little bit of the verse. So it's actually really funny.
Aw. You need to get that on a video. Oh, you're going to make me cry now. Knock it off. Okay, well, let's talk about another one of your songs, something a little bit more perky and, not so teary-eyed. Another song that you have out there. Now, are all these other ones singles, too? We're going to talk about Chain Reaction. Is that a single, too?
So, actually, about a year and a half ago, I was on tour with Kelsey Ballerini and Billy Currington, and I had no music out whatsoever. And so the label thought it was a good idea to get out some music. And these songs just kind of took off by themselves. Chain Reaction actually is one of my personal favorites, just of my music coming out. It's kind of a song about a relationship I was going through where we would be seeing each other, but it wasn't really we weren't official or anything like that. And we kind of had history together, and it was back and forth. And I remember going to the co-write and kind of describing this feeling I was feeling. And basically in that middle of the conversation, I said the word Chain Reaction, and we kind of wrote it around that conversation. And it's one of my absolute favorite songs. I know Kelsey Ballerini is always you got to play Chain Reaction, you got to play it. And so I actually hope that this song in the future is going to be re-released, and it's really cool.
Awesome. And again, these are singles. These aren't on any compilation anywhere.
No, this is on the EP that I released.
Oh, okay. So this is on an EP somewhere.
Yes, this is on the 5-song EP, which has Guts and Glory, the Ram Truck song, Chain Reaction, Window Down Days, Love You, Hate You, Miss You, and Life's for Living.
Okay, and it's called Levi Hummon EP.
Yes,
okay,
self-titled.
Self-titled. Okay, I see that, and that's the one that came out in 2016.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, so if they can get their hands on that whole EP, they'll actually also have some of those other songs, including the Ram Truck tune, Guts and Glory. So they can look for that also on all the electronic media. Is that one?
Yes, it is out, and I would highly suggest if you want to listen to my music to go get that one. Okay.
Is that a good mix? Is that a good, okay, if you want to know what this guy sounds like, and the diversity of the music and stuff, is that where people should go?
Yeah, obviously that was kind of the genesis of kind of who I am as an artist. Don't Waste the Night is more current and kind of where I'm going, and I'm really excited actually for even more songs to come out that I've been kind of working on in the studio secretly.
Okay, secretly, I like that.
Super secret, and I'm saying it out loud.
Super secret. All right, super secret. Well, I'll be looking forward for another interview with you at some point when that super secret is no longer such a super secret.
Yes, it'll be awesome. I cannot wait for that day. All
right. Well, let me do this. Let me just give you a brief. So this whole show gets recorded, and we play it back. It'll be coming back on this coming Sunday, so you can let all your peeps know about it on all the social medias. Go across the board.
Perfect.
And at the end of our little conversation here, I will play Chain Reaction so people can hear what that one sounds like as well.
Cool.
And then at the end of the show, we're going to play one more song, which I don't want to forget to mention. But before we get there, speaking of social medias, are you a social media bug? Is it you? Do you have a staff that handles it for you? Tell us about how people can reach out to you.
Yeah, I'll tell them how reach out to me. But I have a full staff as well.
Okay.
But I'm very interactive with my fans as well.
Okay. So, do you get access to the Facebook and the Twitters and those types of messages from your fans?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And you also have a way that people can sign up for an email and stay in touch with you as well.
Yeah, and you can go to levihummon.com to figure all that out.
Okay, and that's where they need to go to check that out. Plus, they can catch your music on there as well, and
tour dates as well.
And tour dates. Okay, awesome. Are you going to have a big schedule coming up for the fall and working your way from 2017 into 18?
Right now, we're looking at doing some dates with Hunter Hayes and Michael Ray, and then we're actually out in Europe in October doing the CMA abroad. So I'm really looking forward to Europe.
Wow.
It's going to be amazing.
You know, I got to tell you, Europe, and I have artists that call me from over there, and you would think, you know, some people are like, Sweden doesn't have any country music. You'd be surprised. I mean, it's big over there. It's big. You go across that pond, man.
Wow.
There are some huge country bases over there. It's big.
Well,
people.
I've never been out there, so I'm really, really looking forward to it. I've been to London and Ireland before, and I think Italy.
Yep.
But I've never actually toured or played any music there, so it'll be really fun.
Well, I've had artists from Ireland call me, Sweden, Denmark. I mean, they're all big country. And you know what the kicker is? It's funny when you go and you listen. When you talk to them, they have accents. I just interviewed some guys also from Canada. Same thing. You talk to them and they have the accent of wherever their heritage is from or wherever they're from.
Yeah.
And then when they sing a song, it's like, where'd the accent go? It just disappears.
American.
It's kind of funny. But we're going to hit Chain Reaction here in just a minute as I let you go. But one last song I don't want to miss because I did watch this one too, and it's an interesting song. Actually, this is another kind of like a little tearjerker. You're a heartbreaker, Levi. Love You.
Yeah, no, I just get my heart broken.
Okay, so this is like payback?
Yeah, it's always payback.
Oh, no. So, Love You, Hate You, Miss You. Oh, my gosh. Tell us about this one. Is this a heartbreak song for you, Levi?
Yeah, so this is actually the one song on the EP that I didn't write, but I heard it we were actually in a writer's retreat in Cancun, Mexico.
Wow.
And my buddies had just written this song, and I went up to them right after they played it, and I said, I'm cutting that song, you have to give it to me, like, it's mine, because it was exactly describing, like, my life at the time. So I ended up recording the song, and it kind of took off on its own. It streamed over 1 million times over on Spotify, and it was on SiriusXM, the highway, for a little bit. We never actually officially released it as a single or anything like that, but people just related to it and just kind of took off by itself.
Yeah, it's definitely a tearjerker. It's a little bit of a love story song, you know. So let me
play it live. It's more like a rock song.
Yeah.
Crutches.
So let me ask you this: are you still single?
Currently, yes.
Oh, okay.
Forever.
We'll get this out there. So we've got a nice, good-looking young man here, Levi Hummon.
Oh, my gosh.
You need to check this guy out. You are a cutie patootie. Come on, you can't tell me you don't know you're a cutie patootie.
Well, I do not know, but you guys can follow me over at Levi Hummon on Instagram, at Levi Hummon on Twitter, at Levi Hummon on Facebook. And go check out my brand new song, Don't Waste the Night. I'm really, really excited about it, and I'm excited about seeing each and every one of you when I tour Pennsylvania.
Hey, listen, and just so you know, the doors to Penn's Peak Radio are always open to all my artists. So if you are ever in the area, please, please, please let me know. You'll be glad to do a quick impromptu in our studios. We'd love to have you.
I will definitely take you up on that.
Awesome. I hope so. So listen, we're going to play Love You, Hate You, Miss You at the end of the show to remind everybody to listen in on Sunday. But listen, Levi, you have been a sweetheart and a doll. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day. Check this guy out for sure. Got some great stuff out there and looking forward to it. Keep me in mind when you got something new and exciting going on so that we can get you back on the show.
Love it. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Take care, my friend. Bye-bye.
Bye.